what we've been doing here at the Jimmy Dore Show has been since 2015 or it's 2016 when I couldn't vote for Hillary Clinton, a warmongering corporatist, and is try to tell people that, you know, when you pledge your vote to whoever the Democratic nominee is, now you've given away all your power. That's what our message was. That's what I said back then. And what I would tell people, what I would tell my friend Cenk Uygur was, he was saying, you know, we're going to vote for Hillary and then we're going to fight her the day after. We're going to start fighting her the day after the election. And I said, you know, all the power you have over your politicians is in your vote. There's your power. And so if you pledge your vote to them and you can't get them to move before you vote for them, how in the hell are you going to get them to move to you after they've already gotten your vote? That doesn't make sense. And what's happening now is proving my point that was not. That strategy is incoherent and contradictory. How are you going to get a politician to do what you're bidding after you've given away your power? The only time they're going to get them to do your bidding is if you still have a little power over them, which is the power of your vote. Now, here is from 10 years ago. This is Glenn Greenwald, Cenk Uygur. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because of the new videotape from fake tough guy Lawrence O'Donnell that has surfaced. And so we're going to get to that right after this. But let's watch this first. This is from 10 years ago, right after the Democrats under Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi got wiped out. Remember, in Congress, they got wiped out. So this is right after the midterm where they got wiped out. Watch this.
He is the definition of firebrand. How much longer can it be taken? How much longer can people with an agenda like the sort of things that you advocate for, Cenk, that you advocate for, Glenn, continue to look to this political structure to do it and this president and this party to do it, Cenk?
At the end of the election...
How much longer can progressives look to the Democratic Party to fulfill what we want done in government? How much longer can we do this? And here's what Cenk says.
I said, that's it. I'm done. End of this. OK. Now, I was never really one of the guys who supported the White House for the sake of supporting the White House. In fact, I got a lot of heat for that. Right.
I remember.
Because I challenged the government. And I think that's part of the job of the media. I know Glenn does as well. But after the elections, even if you were on that side, really? I mean, because you remember what they told us. Obama's a genius. I couldn't possibly understand his genius. He's playing three-dimensional chess. What part of three-dimensional chess do you give away your queen, your knight, your bishop, and the House of Representatives? No, they were wrong. We were right. It's time to fight.
Where's the leverage, Glenn?
So this is 10 years ago. They were wrong. We were right. Time to fight. So, okay, so now we'll go. So it's 10 years, a decade ago, they're saying this. And now here's what Dylan Ratigan asked the obvious question. Where's your leverage over your politicians? And here's what Glenn Greenwald says.
Well, that's the issue is there hasn't been any leverage because you can complain and object to all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, politicians know that you're going to give them your undying and unconditional support because the other side is just mildly worse. What you're doing is you're ensuring that you will be ignored. But I think
this is 10 years ago. They're all agreement on this. They're all saying the same things. I don't know what happened. Here's even earlier than that. Here's Lawrence O'Donnell. This is from that movie, An Unreasonable Man. It was about Ralph Nader, and it was made by friend of the show, Steve Scrovan. That movie, Unreasonable Man, a documentary on Ralph Nader. And here's what Lawrence O'Donnell said inside that documentary.
If you want to pull the party, the major party that is closest to the way you're thinking, to what you're thinking, you must show them that you're capable of not voting for them. If you don't show them you're capable of not voting for them, they don't have to listen to you. I promise you that. I worked within the Democratic Party. I didn't listen or have to listen to anything on the left while I was working in the Democratic Party because the left had nowhere to go.
So this is what I have been saying at this show for 4 straight years. And everybody made me out to say I was called a petulant child on air by my friends. I was called every name in the book. And then, of course, they just start calling you the conspiracy theorists. That's the natural progression of smearing. And of course, it's turned out we've been right about all the major issues we've stuck our chin out on this show, which is kind of remarkable. I was expected to be wrong about one of them. We were right about the Russiagate, impeachment, voting for Hillary Clinton. We were right about pledging your vote to a party or a candidate before the election. And here it is right here. He says, if you do that, we don't listen to you. I lose in Democratic politics. I'm telling you. And now he gets paid to not tell you that. He's not going to tell you that tonight. You got to withhold your vote from Joe Biden. He's not going to tell you that. He won't ever say that. He's not going to, because that would mean he has consistent and has integrity. And those people on TV don't have integrity. Their integrity has been purchased by an evil corporation, and they are now a willing cog in an evil wheel of disinformation and propaganda. So here's what Crystal Ball has to say about the same topic, but she had to say it today.
The left is going to get blamed if Joe Biden loses, no matter what. Yeah. And by engaging in this whole unity thing, and of course, from the beginning, of course, we're going to vote for the nominee, no matter who it is, you've just stripped yourself of power, of leverage, of being able to say, no, we're going to see who the nominee is. We're going to see if they support our values, if they're worth earning our vote. And the moment you take that off the table is the moment that they can just take you for granted.
Of course.
And I'm not lying that I've been saying this for 4 years straight. Here is a video. I just took a brief look, not at my own channel, but at the Young Turks channel. Here it says Hillary Clinton needs to earn your vote, Jimmy Dore. And here, here's part of it. I'll give it to you. Here we go.
We're all assuming Hillary is. And let me just say this about Hillary Clinton, the most powerful political machine in the country. Former senator, they got the Democratic machine on her side. She's got the establishment media on her side. She's got everybody on her side, and she still doesn't have a message. No message. She doesn't have a message. And let me tell you something else. Hillary Clinton you do not owe her your vote. The Democratic Party is not Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is not the Democratic Party. You are the Democratic Party. You do not owe anybody your vote. She's got to come and
earn your vote, which is how that clip ends. She's got to come and earn your vote. You don't pledge your vote to a politician at the beginning of an election, the beginning of a primary. They have to come get your vote. So here, I'll show you. Here's one more. Here's Crystal Ball. She's had it with the Vote Blue. I was there 4 years ago, and she didn't have a show then, so maybe she was there too. But now it's nice to see. I can find videos now of prominent people on the left saying exactly what we've been saying all along for 4 years. And man, did we get beat up for it. So maybe, I don't know. So anyway, here we go.
Look, Fat, Joe can say what he wants, and party leaders in the media can line up behind whoever they want. But you're not going to tell me or anyone else that we now have to vote for that person. Voters don't owe you anything. You're not entitled to their vote. It's not the way this thing works. You have to actually earn it. It's so clear now that the whole vote blue no matter who line is a total con job designed to quash any dissent so that they can fully shove any neoliberal corporatist nonsense down our throats, whether it's Jamie Dimon or trashing Medicare for all or standard issue warmongering foreign policy. We're supposed to just accept it all because at least it's not Donald Trump. The responsibility is placed wholly on the voters to suck it up and vote Joe. Yes. I'm not buying it. If the choice is Donald Trump or Joe Biden, you can mark me down as officially undecided. Now, look, I'm never going to vote for Donald Trump, but I'm not sure at this point under these circumstances that I can vote for a Joe Kamala ticket or whatever ends up being on offer. I know how mad people are going to be to hear that, how many ugly comments I'm going to get on Twitter, which is weird since I thought only Bernie people posted mean Twitter comments. But honestly, I don't care, because the policies and the critical importance of centering the working class isn't just some branding exercise or cosplay for me. I actually care about it. I'm willing to fight for it. And I also care about power. The moment that we all say, don't worry, Joe, we're all going to back you up, is the moment that the establishment sees they can do whatever they want to us and sell out the working class for all eternity, and we're just going to take it. Think about this. Why do these freaking never-Trumpers and conservative Democrats have so much power? It's because they're constantly threatening to vote for the other team. We have to bend over backwards to keep them from wandering, but the left, Nah, we can spit in their face, and they've still got to show up because Mitt Romney or Donald Trump or Josh Hawley or whoever is just too bad to contemplate the alternative. And by the way, if the corporatists lose again anyway after we all suck it up and vote Joe, they're still going to blame us? Well, I'm, for one, not in the mood to play along. So if moderate voters are what you need to win, go ahead. Try to win with your moderate voters. Try to win while sticking your middle finger in the face of the Amazon and Walmart and Starbucks workers who sent in their $10 and $20 because they dared to believe in something better. Try to win while smearing the young people organizing for the Green New Deal as toxic. Try to win while insisting that Medicare for All is terrible and any way we can't afford it. Maybe you should talk to some folks about whether they can afford the status quo. Go ahead and try to win without this movement, because most people aren't interested in voting for candidates who treat them like crap and view them with utter contempt.
So there you go. The only thing I would add to that is that she might be missing, just let me just add, they're not worried about losing to Donald Trump. That's the thing. So she's saying, go ahead, try winning. They're not really even going to try. They don't care if they lose to Donald Trump. So that's the thing. That's the thing that's hard for people to really wrap their mind around. So you're pledging your vote. You're doing unity videos. You're doing all this vote blue no matter who. But those people you're pledging your loyalty to have none towards you. Zero. Because what they really want to do is stop your agenda. Because they serve the same donor class. Trump, Biden, same donor class. Just as corrupt as each other. And, this idea to hear if Bernie Sanders goes around campaigning for Joe Biden like he did Hillary Clinton, saying that Donald Trump's the most corrupt president, it just falls flat with a guy like Joe Biden. He's corrupt 100% to the hilt. I've got videos of him saying he tried to prostitute himself and he couldn't. The big money guys wouldn't give him the money. So, I'll show you one more clip and then we'll throw it to our panel. Here's me, and here's when it was all coming down to the nitty gritty. This was after Bernie dropped out, and this is when it looked like it was Hillary. And Cenk asked me, "What are you going to do? How are you going to vote? How is a progressive supposed to vote?" And here's what I said:
I will probably vote for Dr. Jill Stein or something like that in California. But if I was in a state where it mattered, which is what you're really asking me, which is what you're really asking me.
Yeah.
I have a theory, and here's my theory, that we are slowing down progress by electing neoliberals. That sometimes it's got to you got to have a higher fever to break the virus, right?
I'm the only one who thought that way. Back then, nobody was on board with me. Nobody was a Jill Stein voter. Right? What did she get? 0.1% Bulls? What did she get? I don't know what. I'm serious. And I was pilloried. To Cenk's credit, he never. I don't remember him directly voter shaming me to my face, so I got to give him that. But anyway, let me throw it to my panel. So go ahead. Just what would you like to say about those videos I played?
Well, I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. I was in the same quandary, and I was like,
you're being ridiculous.
I know. I was helping Russia, and I was like, well, let me see if I got this right. If I don't vote for Hillary, I'm a misogynist. But if I vote for a female doctor who wrote the Green New Deal, she came up with this. I'm a racist. I'm a sexist. I'm a Russian bot. all these things.
And you're petulant.
I'm
and
petulant.
you don't know how things work.
No, I don't know how
You
things
don't know.
work.
You want everything you want. You're spoiled.
Grow up.
Yeah, grow up.
I have pie in the sky.
Yeah, you're pie in the sky. Mm-hmm.
And I just was like, I can't listen to that. And the fact, from the first day I started doing political vigilante, I said, I will not back if they screw Bernie or they just put a centrist up there. This is before Bernie even announced. And we even knew he was going to run again. I said, I will only back a real progressive. And you know what? When I voted for Jill Stein, I felt good about it.
Me too.
I didn't feel bad about it.
I didn't feel bad about it.
People were like, there was only 2 candidates. I said, no, actually, there was 4 candidates. There was Gary Johnson, there was Jill Stein,
right.
There was Trump, and there was Hillary.
Yeah.
And there was like, and I said, what if we had a debate with those four?
With
on
those
there?
four.
But Gary Johnson doesn't. Yeah, great. Then call him out. He doesn't
Right.
know where Aleppo is. He said, but also then I wouldn't know where
Right.
to bomb it.
That's right.
So I go, what would that election have looked like if we had a real substantive
Debate. Right.
That's
They
what
don't want it.
They don't want it.
No, they handcuffed Jill Stein to a chair for 8 hours.
Yes, they did it in 2012.
And
They did-
instead of doing that to Tulsi Gabbard, they just
Mm-hmm.
decided to remove her from the roster.
well, they just change the rules every 5 minutes. That's what they do. Tulsi, you qualified? Oh, not anymore. They just keep doing that.
and
it's-
that people don't understand the import of Tulsi still campaigning for president. If you don't understand that,
Then
you've
you're
been
missing a
fully
lot.
indoctrinated.
You're missing a lot. You are. You're buying the propaganda, and no matter what you think, because Tulsi's voice is vital right now. And I don't agree with Tulsi on everything. I don't agree with Bernie on everything. I don't agree with anybody on everything. But Tulsi Gabbard is speaking clearly and precisely about what is exactly happening right now with the establishment and what they're doing. She's the only one. Bernie's not doing it. Bernie's not saying that the Russian hoax is exactly that, a hoax. Bernie actually says it's real. He pushes the propaganda, which is now painting himself into a corner. Tulsi doesn't do that. She tells the truth about it. She calls out the media. She calls them despicable. She calls out the intelligence community. She said, if you're going to say Bernie's being propped up by Russians, you have to first show evidence, or else you're meddling in our elections. Bernie's not saying any of that. She's in the military. She's saying that about the intelligence community. He's not saying any of that. He's saying the opposite. He's saying the intelligence community propaganda is true. She's also speaking more clearly on our foreign wars than anybody. No one would know what the regime change war even is if it wasn't for Tulsi Gabbard. She's called for. Didn't she pick up the mantle on Andrew Yang's UBI? And Andrew Yang said he was going to endorse whoever picked up the UBI. And I'm pretty sure, just could you check, Ruby, see if Tulsi picked up I'm pretty sure she did. And then he went and endorsed Biden anyway. Wow, that's CNN money, huh?
you see Ron Placone's tweet?
Yeah. And Andrew Yang came back and responded to Ron Placone.
What did he say?
He said, I'm sorry, you felt that way when I was on the show. And
Like
I'm
moved to higher ground?
So Ron said that Andrew Yang treated us like he was a condescending douchebag or something. Yeah. Ron said that about Andrew Yang. I think Ron was really hurt that Andrew. I think a lot of people thought Andrew Yang was much better than he turned out to be.
Yeah, I believe we talked about it on the show yesterday. I believe that Andrew was like he was a man of conviction, and I didn't agree with his
right.
But he believed in what he was saying. Now he's just on CNN.
Now he doesn't believe what he's saying.
Nobody knew who Andrew Yang was a year ago.
No.
Now we all know. So he's
a forever celebrity.
Yeah, he'll sell his book.
And he'll have a book, and he'll go on a tour, and he'll sell out and whatever, and he's going to have a nice life, and
a
he'll
couple
get
$100,000 speaking for the rest of his life.
Right. He'll probably get a blowjob backstage when he's not with us. Anyway, the point is...
So Tulsi Gabbard did promise to carry the torch of UBI, but she doesn't even have it on her actual
But she did
website.
promise.
She did promise it in a video. And
in a video, she did promise it.
And this was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, and Andrew Yang, I guess I wasn't telling the truth when I said that either, that I would back anybody who picked up my UBI medal. I wasn't really serious. I was lying. That's bad math, Andrew. That's bad math to say you're gonna endorse whoever picks up your number one issue, and then someone does, and then you endorse the other person who doesn't embrace your issue. Kind of makes you look like a phony. Hey everybody, the next live Jimmy Dore show is May 1st in Minneapolis, and then we're going to Chicago. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for all the tickets to all our live shows, and become a premium member at jimmydorcomedy.com/join. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Thanks for your support.